Holstein, right? The kid at Pitt, which our guy Kirk Morrison, who joins us now on Morrison Mondays, got a chance to call the backyard brawl. How about that kid in the last few minutes of that game?
Oh, my God. It was so great being there.
And by the way, shout out to Rich Homie Quan. May he rest in peace.
I know, always, man. Shout out Rich Homie. Man, college football is great, dog. I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. It's fun seeing these guys and these stories. Eli Holstein, like you mentioned, kid that goes to Pitt, was at Alabama last year, redshirted, realized I'm not going to play over Jalen Milroe, who's the starting quarterback there at Alabama, decides to go to Pitt University with an unknown offensive coordinator that they get from Western Carolina. But there was something about
an FCS program. Yeah,
he went all the way to like FCS, and then he just came in, and everybody kept saying, "This dude is mature. This dude is mature." But first of all, I got to give a shout out to Cappy. Okay.
Did you get him in the broadcast?
I tried. I really did.
Oh, come on.
You try hard enough. It's like Yoda says. Doesn't Yoda have something to say? Like, there is no try, there's just doing. You know, you didn't try.
I tried. I was trumped by Darrell Revis. Okay, Revis Island was inducted into the Pitt Hall of Fame, Pitt University Hall of Fame, and the time I was going to try to slide Cappy in, Darrell Revis was reminiscing about the time that he actually returned a punt for a touchdown, but he juked out Pat McAfee for the touchdown.
Right.
So this was huge news to me. I had never knew about all of this, so I just kind of sat back, and I didn't get the opportunity that I wanted to sneak in one of the best kickers of all time in Pitt history, Scott Kaplan.
See, the move is to do it when there's a kicker out there.
Yeah.
That's when I did it.
Right.
That's when I snuck Cappy in,
Yep.
you know?
I
So,
tried
Kirk,
to. There wasn't a lot of field goals. There were blocked punts, but there wasn't a lot of field goals.
But I'm curious to hear, because I could feel your excitement coming through the TV monitor that this was the first time you'd ever been around this game and this series. And listen, Washington played Washington State, and there were Oregon played Oregon State.
Yeah.
There were other big rivalry games this weekend, but in that particular region of the country, Pitt, West Virginia is a different level. So I could feel your energy as you were broadcasting the game. Like, I've never been here. I've never been around this. This is wild. Did I get it right?
Cappy, 100%. Cappy, like, I had no idea. And actually, you know what? I'm going to text you and Sedano because I was driving on Friday, and I was, like, right by the campus. And there was, like, a sign that's how I knew, like, this is something totally different when it comes to rivalries. It was – I can't even compare. I've been to some big games. I've been to rivalry games. I've played in rivalry games before. But honestly, I've never seen anything like this before, Cappy. I mean, people were there 3-4 hours ahead of game. I'm talking about, like, full-on ready to go. It took us an extra 45 minutes to get into the stadium. I needed a police escort into the stadium. That's how crazy it was. That, to me, I had no idea. I've always watched it. I've heard of it. But to actually experience it, and then to hear Sweet Caroline at the end of the third quarter that's what it was. It was great.
Yeah, it was a great broadcast, man. Really enjoyed it.
They did a great job.
You
Yeah,
guys
him and Mike Monaco did fantastic.
Excellent job. And just last thing, because I know that this is not necessarily relevant for everybody who's listening, but this kid Eli Holstein that George is talking about, the year that he graduated high school, that was Arch Manning. He was the number one quarterback in the country. Malachi Nelson from Los Alamitos High School went to USC, transferred obviously since to Boise State. I'm trying to remember the kid's name. Yep. There's a kid at Oklahoma who's the starting quarterback there now. He was part of that same class. Holstein was like number 12 in the country, and he wasn't like a 4 or 5 star recruit. He was like a 3-star recruit. But he did go to Alabama. And at the end of that game, he made such a play where he's got defensive linemen flying all around him. He somehow kept his composure, stayed on his feet, turned around and was like, wait a second, there's nobody here. Made a lot of plays with his feet when he kind of looks like a big, old-school, traditional quarterback. So I was super impressed. And, all of a sudden these guys are 3-0, and I started to hear you talk about, well, maybe these are one of these teams that could find their way into the playoff eventually.
They just got to win the conference championship, and they got to be one of the top 4 highest-ranked conference champions. That's what it's all about, Cappy. So preseason, non-conference, all that stuff is over with now. Like, you just got to win your conference. And then if you win your conference, if you don't win a conference, there will be at-large bids, right? There will be at-large bids. I'll tell you this, UCLA getting stomped by Indiana the other day, they're not going to the playoff this year. So they're just playing for relevancy. USC may be our last threat, maybe. We'll see what happens this weekend versus Michigan, who just decided to change quarterbacks for USC. So USC may be our only hope at seeing a college football playoff team in the Los Angeles area. But Pitt has my vote right now, and I think a wide-open ACC. I'm going to Louisville this week, by the way, so I'll let you know.
I was just going to ask you that because I saw I saw the time slot, and I figured that was you, Georgia Tech, Louisville. Louisville's for real, man. I think they're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to go see Louisville, see what they talking about. Coach Brom, see what they bring in over there, and then kind of go from there, man. I like this just the way college football has been, fellas, over the first couple of weeks. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been new names. Like you mentioned, Arch Manning, goes in the game and literally does something that we've never seen Peyton and Eli do before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
really.
It's just like it's cool to see this new wave of quarterback. And then at the same time, look at the NFL because, obviously watching the NFL, to see Bryce Young, modern-day kid right here, Southern California, got benched today, man.
Yeah.
But
I feel bad for the young
Kirk,
man.
Let me ask you this, because Cappy and I agree on this, but I'm curious, as someone who played in the National Football League, how you feel about this,
Yeah.
okay? And it's Morrison Mondays here. They're a terrible team, okay? They're a terrible
Right.
team. They got no weapons.
Yeah.
They got nobody who can block for them. They got nobody who can run the ball. They got nothing. Okay?
They have a new head coach. It's a first-time head coach.
Right, and I'm not blaming him because maybe
Yeah.
this isn't even his decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Shout
this
out
is
Dave
the
Canales,
worst.
by the way.
Yeah, shout out
LA.
to Dave Canales. I don't know if it's his decision. It may
Right.
not be.
Oh, no, I would
so
guess
I don't
it's
want
the
to put
owner,
the
but-
blame on him necessarily. But this is a terrible organizational decision. You just drafted this kid last April, okay? And you're going to bench him already? If I were another team that had a good organizational structure, I'd call them and say, hey, we'll send you a fourth rounder or a fifth rounder. Will you do it? Just to see if they'd bite. Because I think if you put that kid in a winning situation, I think he'd be pretty good.
I think you're referring to Sam Darnold, who right now, if you're talking about early MVPs, which I don't know why we do it, but it's just fun to do it after 2 weeks. Sam Darnold has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And you think about what he went through in the early stages of his career when he got drafted to the Jets and then played over in Carolina for a year.
Right.
Took a seat back last year with San Francisco and said, you know what, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to be the backup to Brock Purdy. And now he's the starter in Minnesota. They're 2-0. They're feeling great about themselves. And Sam Darnold's trying to parlay this into a big contract similar to Baker Mayfield. That's what's going on with Sam Darnold. And I think that possibly may have to be the road for Bryce Young. It's just not going to work out for him, I think, in Carolina. It's over with, fellas. You can't bench the young player and tell him, okay, we're going to bring you back when you're ready. No. I compare it to when Jared Goff was here. Because Jared Goff was bad his rookie year in 2016. But Sean McVay comes in and literally does, sprinkles the fairy dust on Jared Goff, and he changed. He became a Pro Bowl quarterback. We just haven't seen it with Bryce Young, and I just feel bad for him, man, because I don't think that he deserves that. This is a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and yet can't even find his way in the National Football League in a year.
Well, he's in a bad organization. He doesn't have anybody around him to help him, and he's got a first-year head coach. No disrespect to the guy. I know he's from Southern California. I know he's from L.A., but still, they've done this kid really wrong. But hold on, let's go back to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has been outstanding, to be sure.
Yeah.
However, he ain't no Gardner Minshew.
Oh, stop.
He ain't no Gardner Minshew. Hey, how about the Raiders yesterday going to Baltimore after hand-delivering a win to the Chargers the week before and shocking the world, being the biggest underdog on the board and finding a way to win that game? What'd you think, Kirk Morrison?
I think that's all coaching. I think Antonio Pierce doesn't get enough credit, making those guys believe that they had a chance and they had the opportunity to go in there. If they played their best football, they can win. Now, it didn't look good in the first half, but the second half, they just kept fighting. They kept battling, and they beat a team in the Baltimore Ravens who expected to come into this year and show up and think that people are going to kiss the rings and bow down. Nah, bro. Had I told y'all before the season started, the two teams that be at the bottom of the AFC North or even the AFC would be the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens with healthy Joe Burrow and healthy Lamar Jackson. Come on, man. And the undefeated team at the top will be Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, I love this game. This game is so special. This is why reality TV. This is real reality TV, y'all.
Kirk, I just want to hold on for 1 second. We've got breaking news here.
Breaking news?
Oh.
The General Crypto Ray walked in.
Wow, wearing a Chargers hat.
With a Chargers
and gave a
hat?
hug to Omar Lopez.
Uh-oh.
Who's wearing a Raiders hat.
What's up with the Chargers
Raiders
hat?
Chargers. Oh, look at that.
What's up with the Charger hat?
Kirk Morrison. We'll get to that
Kirk already in progress.
Kirk Morrison. I have laid Cappy and I think agree on this too. We have laid down a proclamation on the Rams. They got till their bye week, week 6, to win at least 2 games. If they can't do that, then they need to figure out what next season is going to look like.
I'm almost there with you.
Is that yes or no?
No, let that marinate. Let that marinate all up in it.
No, Kirk.
If they're 1-5, then they need to start figuring out. I mean, 1-5 is going to be too hard to dig out of, man.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, man. Like everybody hurt. So last year they was 3-6, and we had wrote them off, and then they went 7-1 down the stretch, and they went they went 7-1 down the stretch and made the playoffs, right?
Kirk,
you know what I mean?
think they're going 7-1 down the stretch this season?
I just know that in a month, this is going to be a different looking Rams team than they are right now.
You're right. It's going to be a lot worse. You're right.
No, I won't say a lot worse. They gonna get it together. Sean McVay was pissed yesterday. He was salty. I ain't never seen him that salty.
Was he going to go out there and play? Is he going to go out there and play wide receiver?
No,
What's changing?
Not. He's not going to do that.
Nah,
so here's the thing. This is what I worry about, Kirk.
Don't be a gutless apologist, Kirk, like Travis Rogers.
This is the biggest thing I worry about.
No, man, come on, man. If Matt LaFleur can help Malik Willis, who couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. He made Malik Willis yesterday look great. These coaches from the Coach McVay tree, look, Kevin O'Connell turned Sam Darnold around. They've got Matthew Stafford. This is where the coaching comes in because they're not supposed to beat the 49ers, and yet they're going to win on Sunday, and the 49ers are going to be in a situation.
I didn't know Kirk was coming on to do a comedy routine.
Wait, but to Kirk's point, everybody on the 49ers is hurt too.
Right, that is true. They have a lot of guys hurt.
Now out. Christian
hurt.
McCaffrey's out.
If Debo Samuel don't play, I'm telling you, Debo don't play, Christian McCaffrey don't play. Hey, is that blood in the water? Heck yeah, these young dudes about to go wreak havoc. I'm sorry, I got the Rams winning this weekend. At home, please believe it.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. Biggest thing I worry about, and that's why I need them to have at least 2 wins by the bye, okay? I just think that the offensive line is such a mess right now. I worry about Stafford getting killed back there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get rid of the football. He did a good job of doing that No, he tried to. Warren McClendon was like Disneyland, the turnstile. He was letting people go through for free. 2 for 1 was Warren McClendon. So they got to fix that on one side. Then on the other side, Rob Havenstein coming back. Look, this is a situation where the Rams, they got to run the ball. What are you doing with Kyron Williams, Blake Corum? Let's run the football, Sean McVay. I saw the Packers do it. That's how you do it. Run the damn ball.
Yeah,
what are they going to do with an offensive line?
Yeah, you can't run the ball when you don't have an offensive line, Kirk. I mean, come on, man.
But come on, man. Like, Cappy, let's be real. If you have an offensive line that's makeshift, a makeshift offensive line, guys that have not been in there, would you rather them go backwards or forwards?
I think I'd rather them go forwards. I think. Is that the right answer?
That's like a Tom Brady question
That's
right
the right
there.
answer. Because you don't want them to go back. I don't want them backing up. I want them to go forward. Hey, knock the guy in front of you backwards. That's all you got to do. Run the football.
You
that
can't,
will
he
help
don't
out
want
the
them
play
to.
action.
He don't want them to back that ass up. He wants them to go maul some people.
I understand, but hold on one second. When you're a coach like McVay and you're an offensive coach, and you realize how beat up your offensive line is, and you realize that your 2 top receivers are out, you ask yourself, who's my best offensive player and who can do the most for me? And the answer is Matthew Stafford. So at that point, you're kind of stuck with the only thing I can do is let Matthew Stafford try and win this for us and try and turn a bunch of young, no-name receivers into real dudes. And so I understand what you're saying. I'd love for this offensive line, and I'm sure they would as well, love to run the football. It's just hard to coordinate an O-line when there's 10 different moving parts.
Yeah, but the easiest part is go knock the man in front of you, knock him backwards. That's what's so hard about that.
Backwards, Cap.
It's just not get your hand in the dirt, and the guy in front of you, why don't you push him? Impose your will on him. Why would I put an offensive line and let them drop back 35, 40 times a game? That just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm seeing teams win football games, Cappy, without scoring touchdowns. You hear me?
It's true.
The Washington Commanders did not score a touchdown, and they win in games.
I hear you.
It was the same thing. What are we doing?
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let's do this then. Let's turn the attention to the head coach. Coach, what are you doing? I mean,
that's what he just said.
All everybody does is tell me that Sean McVay is the greatest coach that's ever walked the face of the earth.
I don't think everybody says that.
Well, okay, everybody other than Bill Belichick says it. But, I mean, come on, man. Everybody tells you how great Sean McVay is. He's re-energized. He's rejuvenated. He's so great.
Cappy, listen, Kirk, Cappy put Sean in the Amazon booth next year with Al Michaels already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because when this season falls apart, that rejuvenation is like, yeah, it was fun for a year. It's not so fun anymore. Especially when you're going to need to replace Cooper Kupp if he can't get healthy.
It's okay. They'll draft Carson Beck or Cam Ward.
Okay, and you're going to have to but guys, you can go get Carson Beck or Cam Ward, and guess what they're going to look like next year?
Yo, Cam Ward on this team would be nice.
Yeah.
That dude's got some swag.
Yeah. You know what he's going to look like? He's going to look like Caleb Williams.
Sean McVay has never drafted a quarterback in the first round. So if you don't think that entices him, that gets him going for next year, if things go awry, trust me, there's excitement for him to want to come back. But we still got 15 games left. Like, would you rather be the Rams or would you rather be I look at the Cincinnati Bengals right now. Look at all the teams that's 0-2.
Well, the AFC is harder. AFC is harder, yes.
Like, come on, man. Like, look at the Giants right now. Would you rather be in that situation? Terrible. Come on.
This is what happens, Captain.
I will say this. Hold on. Go ahead.
This is what happens when you have a Sean McVay poster in your bedroom, like Kirk Morrison. And
listen, I love Sean McVay. Okay, Sean
you
McVay's
have a poster?
my
Time
guy.
to roll
no
it up,
poster.
Kirk.
Is that because your wife won't let you have a poster in your bedroom?
No, I'm just not a poster guy.
Okay,
but nonetheless, I love Sean McVay. But you know who I would say is better right now? Who's in a better situation, Kirk? Where the worm has turned.
Stop her.
The worm has turned.
Kirk, you would think that the Chargers won the Super Bowl because they beat
that's
the Panthers.
the Raider fans after winning one game. That's the Raider fans. Look at Omar over there.
Hey, man, like one of my coaches used to always tell me, just be patient. They're going to charge. Don't worry.
Correct.
They're going to charge.
This is different.
This
is different.
No, it's not.
Hey, listen.
Just wait.
I said this in the preseason, okay? Yep. I'm going to repeat it again every week until it happens. 10 wins this season.
Hey, Kirk, wait till all of a sudden Joey Bosa's back hurts. Wait till Khalil Mack can't play anymore.
Hold on. Let the man speak. Go ahead, Kirk.
We saw it. We saw it yesterday with Justin Herbert over there getting hurt, trying to be Superman. And like, come on, man. We just talked about it. The Carolina Panthers are garbage. Like,
what about the Raiders?
They are a bad team.
They're a bad team too. The Raiders.
Come on, Raiders about to beat the Panthers this weekend. So I can't even.
No, but I'm saying they beat the Raiders. So are the Raiders a garbage team then too?
No, the Raiders beat the Raiders.
No.
Oh, the Raiders beat the Raiders.
3 turnovers.
Yeah.
Then the Ravens beat themselves because they had a 10-point lead and they blew another fourth quarter 10-point lead, like they have in previous years.
Maybe.
They brought in Derrick Henry to do nothing because he got one carry in the fourth quarter.
like Stephen A. Smith always say, just wait. Just wait. They're going to do it to you, okay? The Chargers,
there's
just wait.
no doubt.
Just wait, George.
They
Just
will.
Wait.
You know what? You know who's going to make everybody eat it today? Eat it this year? Cappy's best friend, Derek Carr.
Oh, I love Derek Carr. By the way, my power
Why?
rankings later this week. My power
Mm-hmm.
rankings. New Orleans has ascended. I won't tell you to where.
Ascended.
But they are on their way.
Skyrocketed.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, listen. I'm glad that for 1 week, Gardner Minshew,
the best,
showed that he could be more than a capable quarterback because
best.
the Raiders have an elite defense. I just wish that they had a better quarterback situation in a division with Herbert and Mahomes. That's all I'm saying. So.
Well, it's when you run the ball and you throw the ball to Devontae Adams, good things happen. We make football so difficult sometimes. It's easy. Get your good
Why do you make it
players
difficult,
to
Captain?
football. Yeah. Like, that's what happens. Like, think about this. And this is why I get mad at the Rams. So this is why I'm upset at the Rams. All week long, you knew that Marvin Harrison was about to go get the ball. Because he told you last week in the press conference, hey, man, I just show up. That's not my job to get the ball. They got to get it to me. And what did he do? He got the ball like 10 times in the first in the first two series of the game. Rams still ain't guarded him yet, man. Has anybody guarded Marvin Harrison yet? Has anybody covered him yet?
Yo, he nice, though.
And by the way,
he nice,
and by the way, more
They should have
injuries.
had a double team on him and a triple team on him. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Come on, Chris
Right.
Shula.
So now I like it. There's criticism
Chris
for McVay,
Shula. Well,
and there's criticism
look,
for his defensive coordinator.
I will say this. Losing Raheem Morris is a bigger deal than people want to give it credit for. I mean, Chris Shula's never coordinated a defense in his life.
Yeah, but losing Aaron Donald was a bigger deal.
Sure.
Yeah, that may be. Because all I'm saying is that you're supposed
But I mean,
to have at least two
you
guys
can
on
grab
Marvin Harrison.
It's not like Chris can go and just speak to his grandpa, in the afterlife and help him out. You know
No,
what I'm
because
saying?
Grandpa is dead. This guy's actually dead. Yeah, Don Shula.
I'm just saying, this is what happens. Now, all of Marvin Harrison's highlights will be against the Rams all year long. Because you know how they say, Marvin Harrison. So they're going to show all the highlights from last week.
That touchdown he had where he stretched over and got over the goal line, that was sick.
Yep, amazing.
Sick. Kirk Morrison, you're the man. Have fun in Louisville. So have you been there before or no?
I haven't been since 2011 when I went to the Kentucky Derby. So that's the last time I've been.
Okay. So I don't know where y'all staying. You don't have to tell us, but there's
Where are you staying at?
There's a famous hotel called the Galt House, and and at the bottom of that hotel, there is the best steakhouse in town called Jeff Ruby's. Go there.
Been there.
Okay, so I'm going.
Oh,
to
he's
Jeff
in for Cap.
Ruby's.
That's right. You're in tomorrow. We can talk more tomorrow when you're
I
here.
have a scheduled day off. I'm moving my daughter into Cal Poly Slow tomorrow.